Hey, this is Bryan. Thanks so much for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. Today, we are going to show you how to install BimmerTech's CarPlay MMI in a 2013 F30. Now, one of the cool things about the CarPlay MMI from BimmerTech is if your car doesn't have a backup camera, there's a backup camera add-on. Now, if you're curious on how to install a backup camera, be sure to see the video above. Whenever you're working on any electronics in your car, it's always a good idea to remove the negative terminal of your battery. So to do that, you're going to need a 10mm. Just give this a couple twists here. Once that's loose, you can pull it off and push it to the side. Now, because of the electronic locking on these, it's always a good idea to take a microfiber towel, feed it through, and just knot it. So if anybody accidentally closes your trunk, it won't latch and lock you out. Now what we're going to do is we are going to place some microfiber towels in this general area to make sure that nothing is going to get scratched. And then we're going to do some basic dash disassembly. So we'll start by popping out the side down there. We'll just very carefully just work this trim out just like this. And once we get this out, we're going to reach behind. We're just going to push out this button right there. And just like most BMW tabs, there's this little button right there. Press that in, pull that off, set that out of the way. One more connection on the back, looks just like that. Once that's removed, you can set this in a safe spot. Then you can take your faceplate right here, pull this off, disconnect the connection that's in the back. Now this one has the LCI panel, so there's just one more connection. So once everything's disconnected, we'll set this out of the way as well. The next thing we need to do is we need to remove these 6 T20 screws. There's 4 holding the head unit in and 2 that hold the screen in. So at this time, you can remove those. Now with the faceplate removed, we can see the CIC unit, and it's a pretty large unit. There's no real room to mount the multimedia interface on the side or underneath. So what we're going to do is there's this nice cavity right here between the head unit and the glove box. Easy access as soon as you drop the glove box. So at this time, I'm going to show you how to remove the glove box, and I'll show you right where this is going to fit. Now to remove your glove box, it's a very simple process. We're going to start with a 10mm. There's 2 10mm nuts under here, so at this time you can remove those, and then we're going to pull this entire plastic tray down. Right, so then what you can do is you can pull this tray down. Now if you're looking for a detailed video on how to remove your glove box, we have a dedicated video. Just see the link above, and that'll walk you through all of the steps. Basically, we're just going to take these connections, remove those, and then we can set this piece to the side. Now what we're going to do is we are going to gently lower the airbag down. It's held in by 2 T30s. There's one on this side and then one over here. Basically what we're going to do, you just remove those screws like I was saying. Now BMW uses some crazy Loctite, so don't be surprised if it's very difficult to remove. And then we're just going to set this off to the side. There's no need to disconnect it. Once that's off, we'll just set that out of the way. Now after the airbag, I like to get the screw that's in here. This is typically the hidden screw. It's the one that people normally miss. So you just get your hand under this compartment, rock it up, and it'll pop up just like that. Then just grab a T20 and release the screw here. Now some cars I've noticed have a T25, some have a T20, so just be prepared with both. Now with the airbag out of the way, you're going to notice that there are 2 T20s that are much easier to get to. Once again, we explained this in greater detail in that video that we had above, but we'll have it in the description in case you're a little bit confused. Once you remove those 2, there's 2 additional T20s. One's right here, one's right here, and then we're going to open the glove box, and there's 4 across the top. So at this time, you can remove the 4 T20s underneath your glove box. All right, once you've done that, there's just 4 more. Once you've done that, you can very carefully maneuver this out and just disconnect all of the connections. And thus concludes the glove box delete. So now with the glove box removed, you can see that there's this huge cavity right here, which is going to easily house this multimedia interface. Now what we're going to do is we are going to install our Quadlock, which looks like this. So to do that, we're going to pull our head unit out. Again, make sure that you have some microfiber towels. You want to make sure that nothing is going to get scratched. Now on the quad lock, it has this little lever right here, and basically it's a locking mechanism. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to get this, you're going to lift it up, and what that's going to do is it's going to pry it out. So on the factory unit, you can see that our lock is right here. There's little clips on the side you need to release. And as you pull this up, it's going to pop it out for you. And the reverse is true when you install it. You put it in with the lever up, and then what it's going to do is it's going to lock it in place. So let's start by removing this. Next, what we need to do is we need to remove the optic cable. So the optic cable are these two little circles right there. The way that you need to do this is there's a little tab right there, and all you need to do is just press up on this tab, and then that'll release just like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our BimmerTech quad lock. We're going to take this, and you're going to put it right on the end right there where you see those other little circles. Okay. And that'll snap in just like that. Then you can take the other end of your BimmerTech harness, line everything up, press it into the factory BMW harness, and lock that in place. Then while you have some space to work, you're going to take all of these wires, you're going to feed them back and around here and out that cavity, just like that. Then what you can do is take the other end of your BimmerTech quad lock, gently press it in place, pull the lever down, and it'll lock it in place. Once you've done that, we're going to leave it out just for the time being. Make sure that we get everything correctly wired up, and then we'll show you how to reinstall everything. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to install our brand new video cable. So to do this, we need to first get the old video cable out. So the screen pops out easily. Sometimes it helps if you maneuver your head unit around to get a little bit of slack. Now this is a little difficult to show. I'll show you this in just one second, but basically there's a little tab that you press in, and then what you can do is just try to pull it as straight out as you can. So if we look at this one right here, there's a little tab you press on the side. So it's going to go in just like that. You're going to press on that tab and pull it out. It's always a tight fit, so don't expect it to come out super easy. Then what we can do, we can take our video cable, we can route this down, and then once again, we're going to route this out to our favorite little cavity area here. And then while we're there, we're going to take our new video cable and we're going to route this one up. All right, just like that. Then what you can do is just take your video cable, plug that in, just like that. And you can put your screen back in. Now what we need to do is we need to set the dip settings. So these are very simple. All you need to do is worry about number 1. Number 2, 3, and 4 are going to be off. Number 1 is going to go on if you have the 8-inch screen. If you have the 6.5-inch screen, it's going to go to off. So now that we have that set, we're going to take some of these connections and we're going to start to plug it in. Now the first connection is the power and CAN. This is the cable that stems off of the quad lock. Then you're going to take your USB cable, looks just like this. Plug it into where it says USB. Now in this car, we've already installed a rear view camera, so we're going to connect the yellow RCA and then this little white connection right here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the cable that looks like this. It has a 3.5mm jack on one side and a red and a white RCA on the other. Now we already have this pre-wired, but basically you're going to run this wire up into your armrest. Now if you're not sure how to do that, if you check the link above to our rear view camera installation and an Apple TV, we're going to show you how to run that. But since we already have it run, we're just going to leave these in place. White to white, red to red. Then what we're going to do is we're going to plug the video cables in. So we're going to take the one that stems from the factory head unit, and this is going to go to in. Then we're going to take our new video cable, and that's going to get plugged into out. So the way to think about this is it goes from your head unit into the multimedia interface out to the screen. Once we've done that, we're going to do some testing. Some of the cars are going to require this additional cable, which is going to get routed up to your microphone. Some do not require it. So at this point, we can put the car back together just a little bit. We'll do some testing, see if we need this cable. We'll go from there. At this part of the process, my microphone has fallen off and is by my foot. So I apologize for the funky audio. So what I'll try to do is I'll just try to narrate you through the rest of this. This part of the process, we're ready to test. So simply press that start stop button just one time. Then what you can do is take your lightning cable and simply plug it in this USB slot right here. With CarPlay MMI, the way that the sound gets to your speakers is through the car's aux input. So what I like to do is I like to set up a shortcut. So if you press the media button on your iDrive controller, then hover over where it says aux and simply press and hold the number 8 to save it. The reason that we use the number 8 is because that's what's pre-programmed into the CarPlay MMI to actually flip over your screen. So when you press the number 8, it's going to flip not only the video, but it's also going to enable the aux audio jack, so you're gonna get that audio as well. Then after hitting the number 8, we can simply plug in our phone and CarPlay will automatically activate. Once you have your CarPlay up and running, the way that you control it is simply just with the iDrive controller. So all you need to do is just twist it, figure out what app you want to use, and you're good to go. Now, sometimes when you're doing your testing, the audio will work, and sometimes it will not. Now, in our case, it did not. And what this means is we need to get that external microphone extension cable, and we need to run that up to the microphone. So it goes from the CarPlay MMI to the mic. So let's get started with that now. To run this cable, you're going to plug the mic extension right here into the MMI. And then what you're going to do is you're going to feed it through this opening over here. Then I just route it through here, and I pull it down below the steering column. Just like on the other side, if you pull your trim down, you pull this weather stripping, you can pop this piece of trim out, just like that. Then you can continue to feed this wire. Just like that. Alright, then we're almost up there. So you can take this, and it's going to rock towards the outside of the car. And just pull it down. There's a little connection. So that's what we're going to be actually tapping into. Actually, it's a Y, so it's going to be connecting into both of these. So to get to that, what you want to do is just get your cable here. You can literally just take this, run it up, all the way up here. Now, actually, for video purposes, I'll just take this off a little more so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take this. So then what we're going to do is I'm going to stick a bent hanger up here. And when you do this, your airbag is here, so you want to be very careful. You want to go over your airbag so that you're not going to interfere if it has to deploy at any point. We'll do that. I'll hook this up. I'll pull it out just like that. Put that in there just like that. Then take your other one, plug it in like that. Then what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to pull this cord down. And then with this, there's a little groove, and then there's these little clips that hold it in place. So you slide it towards the outside of the car, and then press up. And then what you can do, you can take your weather stripping, and you can just run it back over your wire. And with how we routed our wire, it won't interfere with the airbag. Then what you do is you take this little side panel, and you just pop that back in place, and you can finish running your weather stripping down. Just like that. So let's test out Siri and see how it's working. At this point, we have finished routing the wire and we're ready for testing. So all you need to do, just like you're using your phone, is say, "Hey Siri," and then you're going to see Siri activate on the screen. And then Siri's going to act the same way it does on your phone. So if you want to check the weather, send a text message, or do whatever, you have that full functionality. All right, at this point, everything is fully functional. So we saw CarPlay works great. You're going to be able to use your maps. You're going to be able to use apps like Pandora. You're going to be able to safely use messages. As you saw, I was texting Zach and receiving text back, and everything was great. So awesome little add to the car. And the best part, well, maybe not the best part, but an awesome part, is we were able to add a rear view camera to a car that didn't have one from the factory. So At this time, now that we've tested everything, I'm going to clean up my wires. We're going to mount the multimedia interface. We're going to reinstall the glove box, and we're done. At this point, everything is completely reinstalled. We did some more testing, and everything checks out great. As you can see down here, this is where we chose to route our USB cable. It just provides the driver with the easiest access, and it remains pretty much out of sight. If you're not using it, you can always tuck it in under the carpet. Once again, this is Bryan. Thank you so much for watching Kies Motorsports. If you are interested in CarPlay for your BMW, be sure to check us out at kiesmotorsports.com. As always, be sure to give us a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.